Hey Queens, let's be real for a moment. How many of us have found ourselves in a situation, maybe with a man we really care about, where we're constantly making excuses for his behavior, minimizing the disrespect, explaining away the inconsistencies, or even blaming ourselves for the way he treats us? You know that little voice in your head that says, maybe I'm too sensitive, or he'll change, or it's not that bad. Today we're going to talk about something crucial, something that impacts our peace, our self-worth, and ultimately, our happiness. Stopping the cycle of accepting terrible treatment from a man. This isn't about man-bashing, it's about self-preservation. It's about recognizing that you, my dear, deserve a love that uplifts you, respects you, and makes you feel safe, not constantly on edge, or questioning your own sanity. In this video, we're going to shine a light on those sneaky red flags, understand why we sometimes tolerate what we shouldn't, and most importantly, equip you with the tools to set strong boundaries and demand the respect you absolutely deserve. Because your peace, your joy, they are non-negotiable. Are you ready to reclaim your power? Let's dive in. Sometimes mistreatment isn't a loud argument or an obvious betrayal. It can be subtle, insidious, and slowly erode your self-worth without you even realizing it. But once you know what to look for, you can't unsee it. Here are some common red flags in a man's behavior that you absolutely should not tolerate. 1. Dismissiveness and invalidation. This is when he constantly brushes off your feelings, opinions, or concerns. You share something important and he responds with, "You're overreacting. That's not a big deal," or, "Why are you so emotional?" It makes you feel small, unheard, and like your reality is wrong. Imagine you're telling him about a stressful day at work, and he just keeps scrolling on his phone, then says, "It's just work, chill out." That's invalidation. 2. Lack of respect for boundaries. You've clearly stated your needs. Maybe you need space, or you're not comfortable with certain jokes, or you've asked him not to call after a certain hour, but he consistently pushes past them. This isn't just forgetfulness. It's a disregard for your autonomy and your stated limits. You tell him you need a night to yourself, but he keeps calling and texting, or even shows up at your door. That's a boundary violation. 2. Gaslighting. This is a manipulative tactic where he makes you question your own memory, perception, or sanity. He might deny saying things he clearly said, twist your words, or make you feel like you're crazy for remembering things differently. It's designed to make you doubt yourself and become more dependent on his version of reality. You confront him about a broken promise and he says, "I never said that. You're imagining things," even though you have receipts. That's gaslighting. 3. Controlling behavior. This can start subtly. He might suggest what you wear, who you spend time with, or where you go. Over time, it can escalate to dictating your choices, isolating you from friends and family, or demanding to know your every move. This isn't love. It's about power and control. He gets upset if you hang out with your girlfriends without him, or he constantly checks your location. That's controlling. 5. Emotional unavailability or inconsistency. He's hot and cold. One day he's showering you with affection and attention. The next he's distant, unresponsive, or disappears without explanation. He avoids deep conversations, struggles to express his feelings, or pulls away when things get serious. This inconsistency keeps you on edge, constantly seeking his approval or trying to win him back. He's super affectionate after a fight, but then goes silent for days, leaving you wondering where you stand. That's emotional inconsistency. 6. Blame shifting and lack of accountability. Nothing is ever his fault. Every argument, every problem, every mistake is somehow attributed to you, to circumstances, or to anyone but him. He refuses to take responsibility for his actions, making it impossible to resolve conflicts or move forward. You try to discuss an issue and he immediately turns it around, saying, "Well, if you hadn't done X, I wouldn't have done Y." That's blame shifting. 7. Disrespectful communication. This includes name-calling, yelling, sarcasm, belittling comments, or making jokes at your expense that aren't funny. It's any form of communication that diminishes you, makes you feel less than, or erodes your self-esteem. During an argument, he calls you sensitive, or dramatic with a sneer, or makes a cutting remark about your appearance. That's disrespectful communication. These aren't just bad days or personality quirks. These are patterns of behavior that indicate a deeper issue, and they are not acceptable in a healthy, loving relationship. Period. Why we tolerate it, the psychology behind staying. So if these red flags are so clear, why do so many incredible women, smart women, loving women, find themselves tolerating this kind of treatment? It's not because we're weak or foolish. It's often a complex web of psychological and societal factors that keep us tethered. 1. Low self-worth/self-esteem. This is foundational. If deep down you don't believe you're worthy of true, unconditional love and respect, you're more likely to accept crumbs. You might think, this is as good as it gets, or I don't deserve better. This often stems from past experiences or societal messages that chip away at our confidence. 2. Fear of loneliness or starting over. The unknown is scary. The thought of being alone or having to rebuild your life, your social circle, your routine, can feel overwhelming. The comfort of familiarity, even if it's unhealthy, can seem safer than the daunting prospect of a fresh start. You might tell yourself, at least I have someone, even if that someone brings more pain than peace. 3. Hope for change. Oh, the hope. It's a powerful, often deceptive force. We see glimpses of the man we fell in love with or the man he could be, and we cling to that potential. We believe our love, our patience, our understanding will somehow transform him. We become his therapist, his cheerleader, his fixer, constantly pouring into an empty cup, waiting for him to finally get it. He says, I'm sorry, I'll change, and for a moment, you believe him, restarting the cycle. 4. Love bombing and manipulation cycles. This is insidious. Many unhealthy relationships follow a pattern. Intense affection and charm, love bombing, followed by mistreatment, then remorse and promises of change, drawing you back in. This emotional roller coaster is designed to keep you disoriented and dependent. The highs are so high you convince yourself they're worth the crushing lows. 5. Societal conditioning. Let's be real. Society often tells women to be accommodating, to be the peacekeepers, to prioritize the relationship above all else. We're fed narratives that suggest this is just how men are, or that we need to work harder to make it work. This external pressure can make it even harder to recognize and reject mistreatment. We're taught to shrink ourselves to fit into spaces that were never designed for our growth. Understanding why we tolerate it is the first step towards not tolerating it. It's about peeling back the layers and recognizing that these aren't your failures. They are patterns that have been reinforced, and you have the power to break them. 4. Setting boundaries and demanding respect. Now, for the most crucial part, how do we stop this cycle? How do we reclaim our power and demand the respect we deserve? Starts with boundaries. Think of boundaries not as walls to keep people out, but as guidelines to show people how to love you well. 1. Understanding your worth. Before you can set boundaries, you have to believe you're worthy of them. Reconnect with your value, your strengths, your beauty, your intelligence. You are a queen, and you deserve to be treated as such. Your peace is paramount. Your joy is non-negotiable. Write it down, say it in the mirror, believe it in your soul. 2. Identifying your non-negotiables. What are your absolute deal breakers? What behaviors are simply unacceptable? Be specific. Is it yelling? Disrespecting your family? Lying? Emotional unavailability? Write them down. These are your red lines, and once they're crossed, there must be a consequence. 3. Communicating boundaries clearly. This is where the rubber meets the road. Use I statements. Focus on your feelings and needs, not his actions. Instead of "you always make me feel small," try "I feel small when you make jokes about my appearance." Be direct and firm. No room for ambiguity, hints, or passive aggression. If you raise your voice at me, I will end this conversation. I need you to respect my time, so if you're going to be late, please communicate that. State consequences. This is the hardest part, but it's essential. What will you do if the boundary is crossed? If this happens again, I will need to take a break from this conversation/relationship. If you continue to disrespect my friends, I will not bring you around them, and you must follow through. 4. The power of no. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain, justify, or apologize for it. Saying no to unacceptable behavior is saying yes to yourself. Saying no to disrespect is saying yes to your peace. 5. Walking away. The ultimate boundary. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, a man will continue to treat you terribly. When that happens, the ultimate boundary is knowing when to leave. It's not giving up. It's choosing yourself. It's choosing your mental health, your emotional well-being, and your future. It's recognizing that you cannot change him, but you can change your situation. This is the hardest but often the most liberating step. Takes immense courage, but you are worth it. You are always worth it. So there you have it. Recognizing terrible treatment, understanding why we tolerate it, and most importantly, taking action to set boundaries and demand respect. This journey isn't easy, but it is absolutely necessary for your well-being and for attracting the kind of love you truly deserve. Remember, you are not responsible for how a man treats you, but you are 100% responsible for what you choose to accept. Choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose your power. What's one red flag you're ready to stop tolerating? Or one boundary you're committed to setting this week? Share your intentions in the comments below. Let's build a community of women who uplift each other and refuse to settle for anything less than extraordinary love. If this video empowered you, hit that like button, subscribe for more insights on self-worth and healthy relationships, and share it with a sister who needs to hear this message. Because you, my dear, are worthy of a love that feels like home, not a battleground. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, keep shining your light, unapologetically.